All right, good evening, everybody out there. So, driving home from a W-2 job, fixing to go check on my animals, and we're just thinking about something, conversation I had with somebody yesterday that we talk a lot about in sales, and have some thoughts on it, thought I would share, but that's about self-confidence. Now, the bad thing about not having self-confidence is the only person that can give you self-confidence is you. So sometimes you have to just figure out how to do that. Now, I have always said that negativity is the path of least resistance. So what that means is unless you train your brain will always go to the negative in a situation. If something happens, your brain is automatically going to start thinking about the negative and start thinking about the worst. But, we have a mental health crisis in our country right now that's not being addressed enough, I think. And, it's not necessarily, people that have major issues that, need medication or need psychiatrists or things like that. We have a mental health problem where we don't believe that we are valued, and we have a lot of anxiety in the country. Hear anxiety a lot. I heard a doctor say one time that there's actually no such thing as anxiety, it's just fear. And a lot of those things that we are scared of is the unknown. And those things we are putting in our brains and manifesting things and talking about things that may not, come true. So, talk a lot about self-confidence. Again, like I said, in sales, you've got to be self-confident in your ability and what you're talking about and what you're doing to be able to make a sale. But it goes along in life as well. Like I said, your brain is automatically going to go to the negative, and you have to train your brain to think about the positives. We did a Bible study one time, and a guy made a comment that the only way that you can get negative thoughts out of your brain is to replace them with positive thoughts. You can't have an empty spot in your brain. And if negativity is a path of least resistance and something comes up that you're concerned about, your fear of something that's going to happen, and that anxiety comes up, then you've got to replace that negative thought, negative feeling with something positive. So what you've got to decide is, what are you happy about? What makes you happy? And what can you replace those bad negative thoughts with, so you don't have a hole in your brain? So you have, fill that space with something positive. And the more you do that, the more you can train your brain, the less likely it's going to automatically go to the negative. So you need to start thinking about people that love you, plans that you might have, goals. Setting goals is one of the best things, so you can focus on what it's going to take to achieve that goal rather than this negative thing that may happen. Now, I'm not naive. I know, sometimes people get upset, sometimes things happen, and that's just part of life, but you can't dwell there. You can't stay there. You have to eventually come out of that state, that negative state, and you've got to think positive. You got to build yourself up, because nobody else is going to do that. Sometimes somebody will do that. You might have a friend or family member, but you can't always depend on that. You can depend on yourself. And I think we don't talk enough about self-value in our society these days. And I just want to tell you, if you're watching this, you are valuable. Everybody that's watching this is valuable. You've been placed on this earth for a reason. Everybody's got a purpose, and sometimes it takes a long time to figure out what that purpose is. But once you figure out what that purpose is, why you're here, and that you have a value to society and to God and to your family, then you can start focusing on that. And I do believe it will help you get over those things. I was in a very dark, low place long time ago. Lots of things was happening negatively in my life, some people that I really depend on and put a lot of faith in, really, really let me down. And it took me a long time to get out of that. But you know how I got out of it? I had to get out of it by myself. And Kevin got me out of it. Me. And so, I just started thinking about my self-worth and my self-value and what I was bringing to the table, and started helping people achieve other goals, which helped me achieve some of my goals. And then I started having people looking up to me and started moving up in my job and my position and started being more successful. But it started with me day one saying that I'm bigger than this. I'm more valuable than this problem. And so I just kind of started having to focus on that. It's something that you have to do every day, and you have to train your brain to not think about the negative in every situation and to go to the positive. And I just want to challenge everybody. If you're watching this, there's a reason that this has come across your YouTube algorithm, whatever you call it. And I want to challenge you to start thinking about the positives. Start trying to separate those negative thoughts out of your brain and replacing them with positive brains. So this is my motivational speech for today. Hope everybody's had a great day, and we'll talk to you again soon.